Hi my dear children, how are you all? I hope you all are safe. Now tell me what is meant by safe? Yes, exactly. So safe is nothing but preventing ourselves, protecting ourselves from dangers, right? So you are safe at home and you can prevent the disease. So same like you have to follow some safety measures to avoid accidents or to avoid injuries, right? So today in this class you are going to learn about safety and first aid. So safety and first aid, right? So in this class you will learn about safety from fire, safety on the road, and you will learn about what is first aid, right? Now let's see safety from fire. A fire can be caused due to electrical faults, or it can be due to gas leakage, or it can be due to careless handling of matchsticks, candles, candle fires, etc. right? So we must be very careful when we are handling a fire, right? So before we know how fire is caused, like electrical faults, gas leakage and careless handling of matchsticks, right? So first we will see about gas leakage. So a fire can be caused due to gas leakage, electrical faults, or it can be due to careless handling of candles, matchsticks, etc. because accidents may happen with anyone, anywhere and anytime. So we must always follow the safety measures to avoid accidents, right? So first we will see how a fire caused due to gas leakage. So what is gas leakage? In the gas sometimes there may be leakage of gas, so that may lead to any accidents. So during what are all the safety measures that we should follow when there is a gas leakage? So first thing what you have to do is open all the doors, and when there is a gas leakage you can smell the gas, right? So during that time you have to open all the doors and windows and immediately call an adult for the help, right? So next you have to always switch off the gas regulator when not in use. So when you are not using the gas stove, always switch off the gas regulators, right? So next as I said, open all the doors and windows. So neither strike a match nor operate any electrical switch. It means that, so during when there is a gas leakage, you should not strike out a matchbox because that may lead to a fire accident, or you should not operate any electrical switches. You should not operate, you should not put a switch off on, right? So you should not operate any electrical appliances or any electrical switches. It may lead to accidents. Next, always replace the gas pipe immediately. So when there is a gas leakage in the pipe, it means that there may be some holes or there may be some leakage. So immediately what you have to do? You have to replace the gas pipes immediately. So these are the safety measures that you should follow when there is a gas leakage, right? So next we will see a fire can be caused due to careless handling of matchbox, candle fire and firecrackers. So whenever you are handling the fire, when you are lighting a matchbox, when you are lighting a candle, you should be very careful and you should not wear synthetic cloths. What is synthetic cloths? Synthetic cloths means man-made cloths like nylon cloths. So we should not wear the nylon cloths because these nylon cloths catch fire easily. So always we should ensure that when we are handling fire, we should not wear the nylon cloths or synthetic cloths. Next, when a person catches fire, we should cover the person with a blanket and he should be rolled onto the floor to put out the fire, right? So next we will see there are some fire can be caused by many ways, right? So it can be caused due to paper or wood, or it can be caused due to electrical faults, or it can be caused due to the petrol fires, right? So according to the type of fire, we need to take some safety measures. We need to prevent the fire, right? So first immediately when there is a fire, when there is a big fire, immediately you have to call adult for help. or you can call a emergency fire station number. So, the emergency fire station number is 101. So, when there is a fire, immediately call an adult, or you call dial 101 and you can inform the fire station about the fire accident, right. So, when there is a fire caused, when there is a small fire, you can use fire extinguisher. What is fire extinguisher? Maybe in say many places or malls or in many hospitals, you can notify this kind of an equipment. So, this is called fire extinguisher. When there is a fire, immediately we can use this fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher will be full of carbon dioxide. So, this carbon dioxide will put out the fire. And when there is electrical fire, when there is an electrical fire, we should not use water to put out, because it may lead to electrical shock. But if a fire caused by wood or paper, we can pour the water. But when there is a fire due to electrical faults, we should not use the water. We have to use sand or mud. Okay. So, then only we can put out the fire. And some fire like petrol fire, when there is a petrol fire, we should not pour the water to put out the fire. We have to always use the sand or mud instead of water, because when we pour water, what happens, petrol is lighter than the water, and you must have noticed when we add some oil into the water, always the oil will float, like so. Same way, when we pour water, so the petrol will float on the water. So, and thereby the fire will continue burning. So, that is why we have to use sand or mud instead of water, right. So, these are the safety measures that we should follow to prevent fire accidents, and these are the methods that we can put out a fire, right. So, next we will see safety on the road. So, whenever we go on a road, we have to be always careful, and when we are traveling by vehicles, when we travel on a road, we must have been noticing in the left hand side there are many road signs, right. So, we should follow that road signs. Road signs are also called as traffic signs, right. So, you already know traffic signal, right. So, when there is a red, you have to stop. When there is a green, you have to go. When there is orange or yellow color, we have to wait. The same way, in the left hand side, there are some traffic signs that we must follow. So, here I have given you some traffic signs. Always we have to obey the traffic rules to avoid road accidents, right. Then we must follow these traffic rules. So, if there is a sign like this, you have to stop. So, same way, each and every signs have a specific notifications, right. So, if there is a like this arrow mark like this, it means that you have a right curve, and so when there is a sign like this, so it means that there is no entry, you should not go in that road, right. And when there is a sign like this, so it means that U-turn, right. So, when there is a cross like this, it means that there is no U-turn, you shouldn't take a U-turn, right. So, then there is a sign like this, it means that you have to take a right, but when there is a cross like that, it means that you should not take a right. And you always can see in many places that it will be like this. So, it means that there is a speed breaker. So, you have to limit your speed limit. So, and because to avoid accidents. So, these are the safety traffic signs that you must follow when you are traveling on the road, right. So, next we will see about first aid. So, what is first aid? Now, Rahul, tell me, what is first aid? Do you have any idea about what is first aid? Yes, very good. Sit down. So, again I will tell you, first aid is nothing but an immediate help given to an injured person. If a person gets injured or he met an accident, immediately we need to care that person. So, that immediate help before the doctor arrival, before the doctor comes, we need to give that first help or first care. So that is called as first aid. So the immediate help given to an injured person before the doctor arrival is called first aid, right. So now we are going to see some first aids that should be given for various accidents, or it can be various injuries, right. First we will see first aid to be given for burns. What is burns? Burns means sometimes it can be a dry burn or it can be a wet burn. So when we pour hot water on our skin, so that is also a burn, and when our skin gets exposed to fire, that is also a burn. So in case of minor burn, hold the burnt area under cold running water. So if there is a very minor burn, immediately what you have to do? You have to show the burnt area under the cold running water. Till the burning sensation comes low, you have to show the burnt area under the cold running water. Next, apply antiseptic cream or paste of baking soda and water on burnt area. So immediately you have to apply the antiseptic cream. Antiseptic is nothing but substances that kill germs, right. So antiseptic cream, or you can apply paste of baking soda. What is baking soda? So baking soda is nothing but your mother used to add in the batter, in idli batter or in the dosa batter, right. So that powder, it will be like a powder, right. So that is called baking soda. Okay, soda in Tamil they will say soda mav, right. So take some baking soda and mix with water, and immediately you can apply that paste on the burnt area. Next, or you can apply a baking soda and water on a burnt area. Next, blisters if formed should not be pricked. So if suppose if the burn is severe or something, there may be blisters. What is blisters? Blisters are nothing but koppalam. Okay. So this blisters if formed, we should not prick the blisters. So immediately some people will just prick it. They will pinch it or they will prick it, right. So you should not do all these things. It may lead to severe problems, right. So next we will see first aid for animal bite. So animal bite means it animal bites like animals like dogs, cats, and then even the monkey. So when it bites, it causes a disease called rabies. What it is? Rabies. So R-A-B-I-E-S. So this rabies is a disease caused by animal bite. So you will get the question like the disease caused by animal bite. What is the disease that caused by animal bite? You have to answer rabies. R-A-B-I-E-S, rabies. So rabies is the disease that is caused by the animal bite. What are the animals? Dogs, cats and monkeys. So dogs, cats and monkeys. So when this animal bite, we get disease called rabies. So you can see a dog, a cat and monkey, right. So it causes a disease called rabies. So when an animal bite, what you should do, what first aid you should do, right. Immediately you have to wash the bite area with water, with soap and water, and you have to apply the antiseptic lotion. Antiseptic lotion like Dettol or Savlon. Nowadays you get antiseptic lotion. So you have to apply that, okay, and you have to cover the wound with a bandage. So you have to cover the wound with a bandage, and you can call a doctor and you can visit a doctor regarding that. So this is the first aid, that immediate care that you should give for an animal bite, right. So next we will see. So when there is a first aid, what are the first aids that should be given for bee sting? What is bee sting? Theni, right? So when a theni sting means kottudrathu, okay. So when there is a bee sting, immediately you have to apply a paste of baking soda. So paste of baking soda. So baking soda, as I told you, right, baking soda, paste of baking soda, or you can apply the toothpaste. So at home you have the toothpaste, right, the paste which we use to brush our teeth, right. So, take that toothpaste and you can apply on the bee sting. Bee sting means theni, or any wasp means kolavi, right. So, if that bite, immediately you have to apply the baking soda or you can apply the toothpaste. So, this first aid that should be given when there is a bite from bite of bee or wasp. So, next we will see when there is a snake bite. You know what a snake bite, right. So, palm, right. So, when there is a snake bite, immediately what first aid should be given. So, you have to take a tourniquet, tourniquet spelling Tourniquet. So, this is tourniquet. Okay. So, tourniquet is nothing but it is a tight bandage, it will stop the flow of blood in our body. So, immediately when a snake bites, immediately you have to tie the tourniquet near to the bitten area to stop the blood flow to the heart. So, above when the snake bites, you have to tie the tourniquet above the bite area and to stop the blood flow to the heart. So, this is the first aid that you should do for a snake bite. So, in case of snake bite, tie a tourniquet, Tourniquet. What is tourniquet? Tourniquet is a tight bandage. So, it above the bite to stop the flow of blood. So, once if you stop the flow of blood only, you can prevent the person from danger, or otherwise if you are not tying, what happens, the blood that contains poison will reach your heart and the person may lead to death. So, you have to tie the tourniquet. Immediately rush the person to the doctor. So, after you tie the tourniquet, immediately take the person to the doctor. You should not bite the bitten area with your mouth, you should not suck the blood, all these things you must avoid. So, you have to just tie the tourniquet first, right. Yes. So, next we will see what are the first aids that should be given for a fracture. So, fracture was what is fracture? Fracture is a crack or break in the bone. So, when there is a crack or break in a bone, that is called as fracture. So, when there is a fracture, we should not move the fractured person and he should be calm, right. You don't make the person to panic. Then we have to, in case of fracture, do not move the fractured part. So, if there is a fracture in the hand, you should not move the hand, it has to be under rest, and this fractured part needs support. So, that is why if a fracture is on the hand, so if the fracture is on the hand, we can use a cloth called sling, S-L-I-N-G. So, sling is nothing but a cloth that is tied on a fractured part to give support. So, this is called sling. So, this equipment, this thing is called as a sling, and this fractured part needs more support because this is on the bone, right. So, we have to tie a rigid support. So, that is called splint, S-P-L-I-N-T. So, splint is nothing but a rigid support, hard support. Even you can tie a newspaper or a magazine to give support to the fracture. So, a cloth is called sling and a rigid support, hard support is given for the fracture, that is called splint, S-P-L-I-N-T. So, you can see the splint here. So, this splint gives support to the fracture, and do not move the fractured person, and immediately the fractured person should be taken to the hospital without moving the fractured part. So, next we will see what are the fracture first aids that should be given for muscle sprain. What is muscle sprain? Near to your joints you can see some tissues. So, even in the joints, not only in the joints, in your muscles you can see tissues. When there is a rupture, when there is a damage in the tissues, so that causes muscle sprain. So, when there is a muscle sprain, you have to rub the ice packs on the muscles, but you should not rub the ice packs on the fractured part, you have to rub the ice packs on the muscle part. So, this is the first aid that should be given. So, rub ice. So, for muscle sprain we have to rub ice. So, rub ice on the muscles, right. So, next when what first aid should be given when sometimes when the season is very hot or when the climate is very hot, there may be nosebleeds. So, nosebleeds is nothing but from the nose there may be blood comes out, right. So, during that time what we have to do? So, keep the patient upright and the head held at the backwards, right, and press the nose firmly. So, press the nose bleed firmly and do not put the finger into the mouth or into their nose. So, the person should be sit straight and their head should be at the back, and you have to pour some cold water on the head, because during it is very hot season the person may get nosebleed. So, immediately pour the water on the top of his head. So, this is the first aid that should be given when there is a nosebleed, right. So, in this class almost you learned what are the first aids that should be given for various burns, animal bites, bee sting, snake bite, and you learnt about what is fracture and what first aid should be given for fracture, and you learned first aid should be given for muscle sprain and nosebleed, right. So, and also you learned how a fire cause and what are the safety measures that should be followed to avoid ourselves from the fire accidents, right, and also you learn what are the safety measures that you should follow on the road, right. So, after this lesson at the book back exercises you have questions like related what I have taught you, related to the topics what I have taught you, right. So, now it is the question time. So, I am going to ask you questions, right. So, are you ready to answer? Yes. So, now Portika, tell me a disease caused by an animal bite. What is the name of the disease that is caused by an animal bite? Yes, rabies. What is the spelling of rabies? Yes, R-A-B-I-E-S. Very good. Now, sit down. So, now I am going to ask Muralidharan. Muralidharan, now tell me what first aid should be given for bee sting. When a bee sting, what first aid should be given? Yes, very good. We have to apply the paste of baking soda or? Yes, toothpaste. Yes, so we have to apply the paste of baking soda, or it can be a toothpaste, right. So, at the description, below the description, you can see a link called Google Drive, right. So, just click it so that you get the lesson subject materials and question bank, self-assessment. So, take print out of all these things and try to write in a separate note and read from that note. It will be useful for you to read from that note. So, do not keep it in the mobile and all, keep it in your note and read it, right. So, then do the self-assessment so that we will come to know how far you have understood the lessons, right. So, in this lesson there will be you will get questions like from the 2 marks, 5 marks as well as from the 1 marks, choose it, fill up, match it and all. So, go through all that and then do self-assessment, and we will come to know how far you have understood the lesson, right. Thank you, children.